Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going to be doing something that I am arguably and honestly extremely late and behind on, and that is a Gameroom update video for the channel. Now I say I'm behind, and that's because I started doing this about 2 years ago. This would be the third year, yeah. 2 years ago, and I released it in May, and I wanted to have it get released in May, but unfortunately, obviously, this video did not come out in May because this room was actually quite torn apart because I was moving some stuff around, and also weather, work schedules, and stuff. So I decided, hey, I'll just lump it together in the 5-year anniversary channel update video that I was going to release back in July, which I didn't because, again, I'm very behind on things. Plus, this room was still torn apart. So yeah, in this video, we're going to be doing a game room update video, talk about, you know, the game room in general, some stuff that hasn't changed, some stuff that I've added and moved around, and then I'm going to also show the very messy and destroyed computer room, which is on the other side of that wall. I've never shown it on the channel before because it's always in a constant state of just complete disaster. Not that I'm unorganized or anything, it's just I'm trying to get that set up in there to be where all the computer stuff is going to be. That way all of the well, obviously the PCs, Commodores, Apple II, all that stuff's going to be set up in there, and then the game room's going to be in here. Kind of keep them a little separate so that it makes recording a little bit easier and a little bit more cohesive for different sides of the channel. So let's just get with the very late game room tour update. So let's get started. All right, and let's start with a pan around of the game room in its new current state. And compared to before, as you can see, a lot of stuff has basically moved around, but not too much. So let's go over it in detail here. Okay, the first thing is obviously the door has changed because there's no poster. There was a nail hole here, the wood fibers got worn out and it kind of fell out, so I thought I'd use this 3M, you know, quick stick adhesive hook. It worked for a little bit, and it says it supports 5 pounds, but it keeps falling off. Not the tape, the plastic part. I don't know how that poster over there would weigh more than 5 pounds, but I guess it does. So yeah, I think what I want to do is I want to get some reproduction posters and kind of sticker up that door a little bit like it's the cliche 90s, early 2000s gamer room. That's kind of a neat kind of thing I'd like to do. Something that hasn't changed is the Hot Wheels Mario Kart stuff. 4 years later, still missing that one. I need to hit up eBay and find the correct one. It's the Tanuki Mario I need to find in the standard cart. I say need, I don't need to, I don't need it. But it would be nice to complete the set, because they still release these sets, but they change the driver and the cart and the colors all the time. So I want to find that Tanuki Mario in brown with the standard cart. I'd like to find it. It'd be kind of fun too. The Wii gaming accessories I have not yet opened. That's going to be saved for when I do some Wii stuff videos. And that really cool bag I got from GameStop. Didn't know they had bags like that, and they asked, you know, would I want one when I bought a game? I was like, heck yeah, that's kind of cool. Anyway, the game shelf has changed a little bit. I've moved all my games up one, but I have not yet rebuilt this shelf. I mentioned before I want to tear it all apart, move each of these shelves up about ½ inch, and then add a level here, and then add a level down here to give me, give me a whole nother 12-foot worth of storage space plus. But I haven't done that yet. In fact, you can kind of see I don't have any support right here, so this shelf is a little bowing, which is concerning, but it's not too bad because it's not going to fall apart anytime soon. That was supposed to be a summer project. I'll get to that at some point. But yeah, as you can tell, I moved my games around. My Atari stuff's not up here anymore, but now it's my NES collection, my Super Nintendo stuff, Genesis, Inbox Genesis, my PS1 long box, my Sega Saturn stuff, Nights into Dream sampler, which is an amazingly fun freaking demo. I want to get the full game for this. Some Super Nintendo manuals, including one that's in a little bag. It's not a new in bag. It's just one that I found out in the wild, and I was like, heck yeah. And the History, Legacy, and Legend of Duke Nukem Forever. And that goes into my N64, PS1. I'm going to say it's a pretty huge PS2 collection. And I've mentioned this before in a previous video, but basically one section here is essentially my wife's, and the other 2 sections are what I've added over the years, because she rocked the PS2 during that generation. And a couple of years ago, when I was collecting games like crazy, I could not find PS2 stuff. It's like every garage sale I went to, every thrift store, concession shop had at least a PS2 game somewhere. So obviously I've picked them up pretty cheap over the years, but they're kind of harder to find since, yeah, they seem to be going up in value a little bit lately. My PS3 and PS4 collections, which are pretty good size, not too bad. I got some neat games in there, but I have not played the PS3 in quite a few months because the controller's broke. And no, I didn't rage at one of these games and, you know, screw you, and throw it. No, I'll explain when I get to this reorganization here, but it basically slipped off the shelf and broke the joystick. Almost the same story with the PS4 here. My wife was playing the crap out of it with Horizon Zero Dawn and Hogwarts Legacy. And at some point, the controller refused to charge. The USB micro port broke or something, and it wouldn't take a charge anymore, which, you know, so I need to get PS3 and PS4 controllers at some point. That goes into my OG Xbox collection here. I got some neat games, Xbox 360, Xbox One, my GameCube library, which I love the GameCube. I would love to get more GameCube stuff, but that stuff is extremely expensive right now. My pretty modest Wii collection, not my favorite console, but it's still a pretty fun console. A lot of pretty fun games. A lot of shovelware though. Let's see, then we got my Wii U collection, which is very, 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 very small. Only 3 games. My stuff I need to organize and put away yet. This stuff's actually some pretty recent additions over the past, I think since my last retro haul video I did, I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, I think. This is what I picked up since then. Not a lot, but in fact, I think these 2 are duplicates. Yeah, those 2 are duplicates. So yeah, about 7 or 8 games I need to put away. The VHS promo for Diddy Kong Racing, which I would love to pick up some more of these. And then I don't like this section here. I need to redo it, but I got my demos here, my Back 4 Blood Steelbook, and my very small import collection. I kind of want to, for each of my consoles here, I'd love to get a import game for each console. Even if it won't work or play on it, I think it'd be kind of neat to kind of have like a small shelf of the imports. Moving on, my Atari stuff, I've moved over here to this cute little shelf here. We got my 5200 stuff, which I put back in their boxes that had boxes because I just didn't want to keep separate anymore. My small ColecoVision stuff, that's not part of it. My, I'll say it's a pretty decent 2600 collection. I want to do a library video on this sometime. But same thing with like the PS2. About this column here worth of games was my dad's original collection growing up, and I've added this stuff to it over the past few years. Only stuff I found out in the wild. I have not actually bought anything off eBay yet. I've been avoiding that. Because I'm not too familiar with like Atari games. Like if somebody says, oh, have you played this game on the Atari? I don't think so. What is it? Or I've never played it. I'd like to try it. That's kind of what I'm going on with the Atari right now. I don't come across that too often in the wild anymore. That's about, I don't know, 6-7 years worth of me stumbling across them at garage sales and thrift stores and consignment shops, and it's very rare I come across 2600 stuff. My GameCube stuff, which I'm sorry, Game Boy stuff. I saw the GameCube cases, and yeah, these are empty cases I need to get games for. But anyway, Game Boy stuff. We got my OG, the gray cartridge stuff here. We got some of the black version of the games here, which were compatible with the color and the OG. Some color games. DS and advanced stuff's all in here. I have the advanced games put in DS cases I need to print out custom artwork for. I don't have a whole lot of the Game Boy Advance Game Boy games. I would like to pick up some more at some point. I never, really was too hard on collecting for the Advance, even though I had one back in the day and I had a few games for it. It was just one of those things that I just never got a chance to grab some, and finding them now is kind of a pain in the butt because a lot of Game Boy Advance games go for buku bucks, especially the Pokemon games, which bums me out because I had a chance to get all of them back in the day for pretty cheap and I just never did. And my corner to the 80s with this lovely, starting off this wood grain Magnavox television, which I kind of want to talk about this for a brief second. I would have loved to have one of those big giant console TVs, the ones that sit on the floor. They're in a giant wood grain assembly case and wood grain everywhere, and the fake drawers and stuff at the bottom. I'll post a picture here if I can find one. Would love to have one. My grandparents had one back in the day. It was a Zenith model. Would love to have one. But there's 2 problems. One, I'm not fitting one through that door. And two, I like my brother-in-law too much to call him and say, hey, I found one. Want to help me get down the basement? Okay, technically 3 problems. I don't have room. I don't have the room. I don't want to try and make the room for one. So this is kind of a consolidational like thing. It's the same size of a TV I had back in the late 90s when I lived at home. Same size tube, but it's in a wood grain, pretty similar to the color and shade that my grandparents' ones had. It was just, you know, obviously a bigger console version. So it's a concession. It's the size of the one I had growing up, but it's got the wood grain, so it's, yeah. Below that is my Select-O-Vision player, which does work. This is actually a really cool video player. Pretty hard, not too easy to find media for it, but yeah, it's actually really, really neat, the history of this thing. If I ever get a chance to do a video on it, I am absolutely doing it because it's kind of cool. Spare controllers, and I got some Select-O-Vision movies, some good ones. I got The Godfather, Fiddler on the Roof, I got Hello Dolly, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the original Black Stallion. I mean, I got some pretty good films there. I'd like to get some, I would love to find a couple horror movies like Halloween or Friday the 13th. Just like a horror game that I can pop in here, sit down here and watch it on this television. I think it'd be just a really cool experience. I would love to find a wood grain VCR for this setup though, to kind of have it be just for like 80s and 70s and older movies for that kind of correct experience. But I cannot find a working wood grain VCR. I've come across 2 of them already, and either one didn't power on, or one just basically had nothing but static on an entire band, and nothing I did would fix it. We got my shelf of 80s consoles here. We have my Inbox NES, which has a weird graphical error. I did a video on that a couple months ago. My Inbox NES stuff, I want to do some videos on. My 5200, my NES. This is the exact same NES I have had for nearly 30 years. I've had this thing. This was at my grandparents'. I played the crap out of it. It was in my room for years. It's almost never failed me. I need to clean the contacts up because it does have a flashing red light once in a great while, but it's my childhood NES and I absolutely love it. My Atari 2600, which was actually my dad's. This is my dad's original one. I did an Atari test video last year. I tested up a whole bunch of Ataris, and I did pick up a Black Vader model and another wood grain model that are both going to be modded for composite at some point in the future. I have some vintage clamps here. These are from the, you know... Okay, I can't even bullcrap my way through that one. They're for my Greenscreen, which I think I have put away. Yeah, my Greenscreen I've never used. I bought it, and with the intention of using it, I haven't used it yet. Now we got the X-Wing Lego set. I had a thing for Legos back in the day, the Countach Pikachu, which is a really adorable little Lego set I found at a Dollar General. And then the classic MTV logo from back in the day. I want to build this. I just haven't yet. I might do it for a video. I don't know. It's not Lego specific, it's Brickcraft. Which is funny that it's officially licensed considering it's a Lego knockoff. A kind of a random shelf here. We got my Atari 5200 box. My surviving energy drinks from when that shelf decided to play Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, it's kind of sad I lost some of the collectible energy drink cans, but it's fine. I still have the empty cans. I need to do something with them so they don't get crushed. My Fallout shelf with a classic vintage television, Fallout inspired pocket watch, Funko Pop, some 76 stuff and New Vegas stuff. I need to get some more Fallout merch stuff because it's one of my favorite games, and you know, why not have a whole shelf dedicated to one of my favorite games? We got a shelving unit with some spare controllers and peripherals and such. This is the biggest change I think from the game room as I reorganize some stuff here to make it flow a little better. That way, you know, the consoles just work from how they're supposed to work. We got the Super Nintendo, Genesis, Saturn, N64, and some spare portable consoles down there. I need to put those away. With its own switch box, which is connected to that TV. We got the PlayStation, PS2, GameCube, OG Xbox, and some plug-and-play consoles, all plugged into this beauty here. This is a TV I would have loved to have back in the day. This is a Sony Trinitron. It's not a Wega, I don't believe. Below that, we've got this Sansui 4-head VCR for all my VHS watching needs, and this works perfect. This is like the most perfectly working VCR that I have. And it looks great with this TV too, as you can see from the reflection. I got a vintage DVD player, and I say vintage because this is like from 2001. It's actually a very early DVD player too. From Yamaha, it's got DVD, video CD, and CD capabilities, which is really neat. And then below that, I have my karaoke machine, which is actually a Laserdisc player. It plays Laserdisc, CD, and CD video, which is not the same as video CD. I got a pretty small Laserdisc collection I'll talk about at some point in the future, but yeah, I got some neat videos here. And then in this shelf, we got the HDMI-based stuff. The Wii U, I finally picked one up. Finally found one. My Wii, my Xbox 360E, and my PS3. None of this stuff's hooked up yet, as you can see from the dangling HDMI cables. I need to get another, I need to get a 4-port HDMI switch box. Actually, I might get a 5-port at some point for just future stuff. But yeah, none of that stuff's hooked up, especially since that's got a broken controller. And the sensor bar for the Wii got damaged from something. I'm not sure what the heck damages the cable for it. And the 360E has an HDMI problem. In fact, I might swap that out for the arcade one. I got some console boxes, some more plug and plays. I have yet to get the Pac-Man one of that. I need to at some point soon. I finally wall mounted this television, which is something I was wanting to do for a while. Because my goal is I want to hook up a PC to that. That way I can swing it around. I can watch what I'm doing. I can be sitting in my chair here, playing a game, and then look over and be like, oh yeah, my capture device is working fine. That's kind of the whole reason why it's there. Move the poster over here. Swapped it out from Mario to Nuka-Cola. Again, one of my favorite games. Kind of a weird Pac-Man vinyl album collectible thing I came across at one point. I don't know, I think it's neat. Promo for Super Smash Bros. For 3DS from a GameStop. My Guitar Hero stuff. I need to get the Rock Band stuff down here. The drums are in the garage. Kind of an annoying catch-all shelf right now, because I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm kind of wanting to move the desk and stuff back over here and angle it again, but I haven't fully decided yet. Then we got my very messy and disorganized desk right now with my 46 and my Q9650 powered XP machine. The Q66 one is actually upstairs. I need to get that working again because I finally got some parts for it, so I can get it working so I can run that one and the other one against each other to see which one, to see how they compare power-wise. We got some of my other vintage stuff up here. We got my Duke Recreation controller, the original Atari Flashback, the Game Boy Advance to the OG Game Boy, some more collectible stuff, knick-knacky stuff that didn't get damaged from the shelf collapsing, and then my my desk, which I use to record with, and carpet. Oh my gosh, I have carpeting. I finally put carpeting down here. Kinda. Hopefully your OCD doesn't get triggered from this. It's not fully done yet, but yeah. Okay, and as promised, I'm embarrassed by this a little bit, folks, but my very disorganized and well, very messy computer room. I'm not happy with the way this is looking. In fact, it was a lot better a while ago when I was recording some stuff, but some stuff has happened that's kind of make this room really, really unorganized and messy. But you can kind of see where I'm kind of going with the way I want this room to be set up. Okay, so as for the reason why this room is such a mess right now, it's kind of it's kind of a multifaceted two-part thing as to why. The big reason why is because my hubris. I want this room to kind of be a just easy to record in area where I can set everything up. It all looks good. It all works correctly. I can just come down here, flip a switch, grab my camera, and start recording, or play a game, or software, or whatever. And you know, same thing with the 8-bit stuff, the 16-bit stuff. You know, I want this room to kind of just be a general computer room where I can restore computers and all that kind of stuff. That's always been the goal for it 5 years later. But my own hubris is blocking me a lot of times. Like, I want it to be segmented and organized like the game room is, with the 80s corner, the 90s and early 2000s stuff, the HDMI stuff, the games in one section. It's kind of a way to keep myself organized. And unfortunately, as you can shockingly tell, this room's not very organized. I mean, it's getting there. It really is. It's just getting the time to do it is a major pain. But not only that, one of the other problems So yeah, the second thing with the reason why this room looks like absolute crap is also I've had some really severe weather the past few months. In fact, this entire year has just been extremely weird with weather, especially in regards to very powerful thunderstorms. And I want to clarify that real quick. I'm not saying that it's been worse here than anywhere else in the country. A lot of places around the country has had really worse off with wildfires, hurricanes, tsunamis, earthquakes. You know, not saying that, you know, the Midwest here's got it worse, but Iowa Retro Gamer Dad and AJ Over Forgotten Machines can definitely vouch that the state of Iowa here has had some really severe thunderstorms rolling through. In fact, we even had a derecho go through again, which was, those are not fun storms at all. But anyway, this room here is ironically the only room that gets rainwater in anymore. I did fix a leak on the other side of the house, so I'm not getting water in anymore. And it's not even that much water, not enough to where it's majorly concerning in most regards. But since I have computer stuff here, I don't like water in this room, obviously. And this room does get a little bit of water on the floor, so everything usually is off the floor. Not that big a deal. Well, between me trying to organize everything and set stuff up, get stuff hooked up, and also recording stuff and getting stuff out of the way, and you know, etc., stuff was on the floor. And we had a really powerful rainstorm go through, and I basically had to panic and just shove everything off the floor and get it up off the floor as I could. So that's kind of why everything is kind of a destroyed mess right now. I need to take some time and just get down here, make sure my kid's not home on a weekend or something, and just get this room organized. That way I can just come down here, flip some switches, and start recording. Playing games, software, floppies. Yeah, that's that's my future goals for the computer room here. But yeah, that's my, I said I was going to do it, and I did it. This is my computer room. My very messy, disorganized at the moment computer room. But you can kind of see where I'm going with this in terms of how I want it to be here in the future. I want all the 8-bit stuff kind of right here hooked up to one monitor. I know that's not era correct. I know it's not period correct. Especially considering I am looking for a dedicated monitor for the Apple II. But the other ones, I just would like to have them all hooked up to one monitor. It would make it easier. The composite switch box. I do plan on getting a new switch box for the game room. That's an I'm going to get 2 brand new 4-way ones to replace those aging ones, and then put one of those aging ones in here to switch the 8-bit stuff around. This is going to be all the PC stuff, like I said before. I might move everything over one and put the Tandy RLX somewhere else. And then below here, clear it out and put the XP machines, the 486. I have a 386 planned. I have some Pentium 3s and 2s planned. Basically, have all that down there with a KVM with one, maybe 2 monitors. One, you know, an LCD for the XP and later stuff, and then a CRT for the early XP and earlier stuff like the Windows 98, 95, DOS. That's kind of my goal here. Over here, I'm not quite sure yet. That's just kind of a catch-all shelf at the moment. Compact Portable 2's there. Still works just fine. Ignore that keyboard. That's for a portable one. I'm waiting to hear back from Shelby over at Tech Tangents about that. Because he's restoring a Dasher keyboard, or he was last I checked. And he was I kind of mentioned to him that I have a spare compact keyboard, and the key caps and the springs look almost identical to what he needs. So I'm just waiting to hear back from Shelby. He was going to do some measurements and see if they were the same. If they were, I was just going to send him that keyboard. That way he can use it for parts. Compact Macintosh Classic, my 2GS, my Amiga 500, which is blocked by PC hardware. And yeah, just like I said, it's a complete mess, but it'll be cleaned up at some point eventually. Get organized that way I can just come down here and record. So yeah, welcome to the casual computer room. A wonderful mess, and I know full well there's going to be a lot of retro computer guys that are going to just be hounding me in the comment section about how crappy my computer room looks. And honestly, I agree. It's my own game room, and I fully agree. It looks like crap. I'm not proud of it. All right. Okay, and that's this year's game room update tour video thing with bonus computer room tour. That took me only 5 years to get around to doing. Yeah, I don't procrastinate at all. I'll admit, I'm not entirely thrilled with the way the computer room looks. It's controlled chaos. In fact, it's slipping from the controlled to the chaos part really fast. I just need to get some time, buckle down, and get in there and just clean it, organize it, get it all set up the way I want it. Take a weekend, get my kid out to my grandparent or his grandparents, and just get it done. Maybe get my brother-in-law up here to help sort stuff. And yeah, it's neat to make these videos because then I can look back and kind of see that, well, A, that I can't leave frickin' crap alone and just leave it where it was. Because I'm constantly evolving this game room, not just as a game room, but also in terms of I've been doing YouTube now for 5 years, so this game room's not just a game room to me now. Now it's also a recording studio and a kind of a man cave where I can just come down here and record retro games, play retro games, and possibly, if all goes well in the future, I'd love to get a setup going as well, since everything's set up now the way I like it. Grab my capture PC and update it a little bit and start streaming some retro games. But yeah, it's kind of fun to make these kind of videos because, again, I can see the evolution of my own not wanting to leave things alone. You know, kind of just show the changes that I've made to my retro game room in terms of the way I collect things versus how other collectors do. It's, you know, making a collection video like this it's really fun because everyone collects differently, and this is the way I collect, and it's my warm, cozy, small little nook of the retro community, and I love it. So yeah, obviously the game room is more than likely gonna stay the way it is now. In terms of the way that the consoles are laid out. I don't plan on getting any more consoles. Anyway, with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed this game room update tour and computer room tour. If you have any thoughts or comments about anything that I have down here that I've moved around, questioning me, why do I keep moving stuff around? Can't I just leave stuff alone? Dummy, leave it where it is. Put it down in the comments and I'll probably laugh at it later. If you have any concerns about my computer room, I'd love to hear them, because obviously, again, I'm not happy with the way that is currently, but it's gonna eventually turn out to be a really cool kind of mini personal museum setup thing once I get everything done, hopefully. And be on the lookout for some more videos coming out in the future, especially the channel update video that I am working on, a video on getting some of my retro machines hooked up to the to BBSs, and a couple Windows XP things that I've got going on, including, you saw a sneak peek of that, technically, kind of, sort of, in this video. You saw it right here on this desk of a video I'm going to be doing here pretty soon. So, yeah, spoilers for future stuff. Anyway, with that being said, again, thank you all so much for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.